Are we live? We got some brown stuff to talk about.
Right here.
I see it. Whoa, I guess. We're on live Twitter.
Who are we?
We're live on Twitter, and we should be live on YouTube, so we have to behave ourselves. The Jimmy Kimmel show's ending. Did you hear that? Yeah. I don't know how long this song is. Is that it? Whoa. Wow. It faded out masterfully.
Look at
Well, folks,
you.
look at me. Oh, there we go. You just tweeted something. Or
Me?
Is that
No,
X?
of course I
All
did.
right. Hey, folks, thank you for joining us again. It's a Friday night at 9 p.m., so that means it's Lou and the Jew on CLE Sports Talk. Eric's just said he's looking for the link. I'm going to do this. I'm going to text it to him.
Do it.
Yeah. Do it.
Do it.
Do it. Okay, so our guest is going to be here. Let me get this link to him. Thank you for joining us. We do have some Browns news to talk about. We also have some Cavs stuff to talk about, and I'm going to have my friend coming on, Eric Robinson, and you said you have bodybuilding questions for him.
Do I?
And yeah,
Yes,
I
I
just
do.
sent him the link. I just texted him the link. So yep, you got some bodybuilding questions, and we're going to go over that. But first and foremost, my co-host, friend, DJF.
Thank you.
And
I was expecting that.
you were expecting that. Well, how about Jewish Hot Mess?
Tonight that works.
It does work tonight. You got to explain the getup.
Okay.
You got to explain this guy, 'cause I'm sure
so
Zach is
glad.
watching, scratching his head, going, "Yeah,
Zach accepts me for everything. Okay.
I know he does.
So,
I know he does. So do I."
I was feeling queen today. I was working. I was struggling on the bicycle today, hitting my RPMs a little slower than expected, and Freddie Mercury really got me through, and he was a killer. He was the killer queen, really, if you think about it. And
Yeah. Okay.
don't okay me. I will send an army of rubber chickens after you. You'll never be the same. So
Wow.
there was a lot of thought involved, a lot of overthinking. What? I don't know. Maybe you could answer this. And this is just opinion based. What do you think is Freddie Mercury's greatest work of all time?
Do you mean song?
Yeah. If you had to pick one. And for you, I have something picked out in my mind already.
A Queen song that was I liked was "Stone Cold Crazy."
Ouch, that feels like you're personally
Eric,
attacking me.
thanks, man. Yeah, we were
You
just
friend and stranger.
yes.
Please, I'm trying to explain the get up.
She's trying to explain her gap. This is Sherry. Sherry, this is Eric. You, Eric,
Hi,
we're
nice
Hello,
live.
to meet
Sherry.
you. Nice to
Hey,
meet you.
she
I
has a list
apologize.
of bodybuilding questions for you.
Oh,
I
Yes. Yeah, but so she was explaining the get up about something listening to Queen while doing cardio. So she wore her
it was
Queen stuff,
it was
Killer
on the
Queen.
bike. It was on the
Yeah.
bike, and
eh,
I was trying
Yeah.
my hardest to get through it, and it's
Yeah.
to the point of where eyes closed, not crying, but you gotta focus. And in my this is just my experience because I
Yeah.
am someone with a medical disability. I have multiple sclerosis, and for me, I've been struggling with some muscular nerve pain, and it's been going for at least 48 hours now. And to get through the workout, I had to push myself really hard. So, Freddie Mercury is how I was able to get through my workout, hence Killer Queen. Okay, long story long.
Yep.
We get up. Not Killer Clown skirting on it, but the crown. It's because I'm a queen.
Yeah. And she asked me my favorite Freddie Mercury or Queen song is Stone Cold Crazy.
Which I feel attacked. Anyway,
Why do you feel attacked? Because I said Stone Cold Crazy?
you said
Is
you look crazy today.
no, well, no, not at all. You perfectly normal.
I should have took my driver's license picture like
Yes.
this. Like I'm
That would have
showing
been
to the
great. Yeah.
BMV, like, hi.
you
Been
know, the
like
thing that's crazy is you look like I should know you, but I know I don't.
Wait, well, I got Brown's appropriate attire on as
Yeah,
well.
she's wearing you can see the elf on the lapel of her shirt. Yeah, see that?
Brown's appropriate. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, more Browns appropriate. There was some Browns news today. I don't know if you heard this or not, but the NFL added $30.6 million to the salary cap.
Ah, awesome. Good,
So
good, good.
they went from 19 million over the cap to having cap space of 6 million without restructuring any contracts yet. So
So in my head, really quickly, the math said 17 million. Is that
it was about that. Yeah, it was about that. Yep. So there were like 19. So right now they could do some restructures depending on what they do exactly, but they could have $60 million available for free agency. They could and
awesome?
keep and basically run everybody back that they did last year and add to the team. So all that talk you were hearing, like is Nick Chubb going to get cut or is Amari Cooper going to be gone? Are they going to trade this guy? You would trade David and Joku? I mean, it's what you just
No,
developed this guy for 4 years.
how
He has
offended.
a Pro Bowl
How dare
season.
anybody say that? I heard chatter of getting rid of
They
Nick
were,
Chubb, of course,
they were thinking
immediately
about
offended.
cutting Njoku.
Nah, he's not going anywhere.
I would.
No,
Okay,
I
again,
would not.
something that triggered myself,
It's only going to
because
get better.
I'm a
this
delicate
is water.
butterfly.
This is water, Eric. Don't worry.
This is high octane. This Friday
what do
night.
you, what is? Oh, cool, cool. Now, hey, let me ask you. Let me ask you that. Sure, is that Bang that you're drinking there?
Yeah.
No, this
What
is
it?
All
Victory. This
brown
is
stuff.
a
Victory.
big
Oh, okay,
golden
okay.
monkey. This is a 9.5 percenter.
I gotcha.
So I like to be one and done. This
Oh,
is a lot of liquid and a lot of carbohydrate. The homeostasis is all I can hope to achieve on a
Yeah.
night like tonight. Carbs in,
cool.
carbs out.
Carbs. I don't. It's not a good idea to have carbs this late. Is that right, Eric?
Mom!
Uh,
Well, you call me your mom. No, he knows his stuff.
yeah, if
Yeah,
you're trying to
yeah,
reduce, probably not.
yeah.
I'm getting ready for a bodybuilding
I'm
show,
going
so I'm
back to the
cutting
gym
carbs
tomorrow.
all around the board. So I'm not
When's your
eating
next
them
show?
during April 20th.
Okay, oh, is that
It's the Lieberman
for Lieberman? Okay, that's out in Lorraine. Is that correct?
Avon.
Lorraine, Avon. Okay, okay. Yeah, I've been to that show. I didn't compete in it, but I've been in. Last time I competed was at Kent 2 years ago. The North Coast. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, matter of fact, I got a
Yeah.
flyer for that one probably about 3 days ago.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact.
That's Dean Caputo. Dean Caputo is the promoter for that
Me.
one. Cool. So go ahead with so we got so that's the Browns news right now, and the Cavs are playing the Sixers, and it looks like they're down by 8. Last time I just checked. But that's what's going on in Cleveland sports. So that's huge news right now. But Sherry, you said you had questions for Eric, and I think he's. Are you ready to answer them?
Fire away. Fire away.
Yeah, because no, because her boyfriend Matt is like obsessed with bodybuilding and
Well,
Arnold.
like Arnold, since we were like before I knew him, since like
I never met Arnold. I met Ferrigno, and I met before he passed away. I met Franco Colombo a long
that's super
time ago.
cool.
I met Ferrigno as well. I've never met Arnold, but I met Ferrigno.
Yeah,
He's
how
deaf.
was how was Ferrigno with you? Was he?
A little standoffish. I didn't know at the time he couldn't hear.
Oh,
Oh,
okay,
okay.
okay.
Yeah.
Well,
That's a little difficult.
he was okay with me, and I think there's one reason we have the same first name. I
Okay.
think that's why. Because I said, "Hey, I'm Lou," and he's like, "Ah, okay." And he smiled when I said that. I don't know why. Said it's an honor to meet you, and I got a picture with him. Actually, I have it framed. It's in my living room when I met
This is
Ferrigno because
probably
he he was like my childhood hero. Yeah.
for me. It goes back about 28 years. So it was my first personal training job, and he came into the gym. He was just like a guest of the owners of the gym. He just kind of came in. They were like, "Oh, Ferrigno's in town." I'm like, "Okay, let me make sure I introduce myself."
Wow.
Yeah,
And
that's
very,
cool.
very, very big man.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
I was looking up at him. He's like 6'4", 6'5",
yeah.
Wow.
280 pounds. When he was, yeah, his competing weight was about 280, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That is
definitely.
Okay. So
that
go
is
ahead.
neat.
Yeah, that is neat.
What am I
That's
thinking?
your Arnold.
I have to look at my tiny little fish notebook and figure
Yeah.
out what the hell I wrote last night while like frantically scratching notes down at
Yeah.
like 4 in the morning.
Yeah. So he's cutting down. He's about 8 weeks out. Maybe a little. Yeah, about that, right? You're 8 weeks out.
Yeah, almost exactly.
Yeah.
Almost exactly. So I'm cutting out a lot of carbs. I'm probably about 20 grams of carbs under per day.
See, my research, I'm retired, cardiac research, electrophysiology, and whatnot. We did a lot of ketogenic studies
Good for you.
because of, you know, controversies and whatnot, like which diet works. But if you do this, are you going to go into kidney failure? Depends. What are your underlying factors? What is your family history? If you're diabetic, you shouldn't do the whole keto diet because it will kill you. It will put you into ketoacidosis and you will die. And a lot of people have a hard time understanding what the molecular construct of these diets pertain to. I mean, we just studied cardiology. Just. So we looked at the cardiovascular benefit, and the keto diet actually in heart failure was actually quite beneficial, which we didn't get funding from AHA because what does AHA hate? The American Heart Association? What's been the narrative of the American Heart Association their whole existence? Fat will kill you.
Fat will kill
Red
you.
meat and fat will kill you. What is the keto diet based on?
Actually, so honestly, it's Sherry, correct?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
And this
So-
is just, I mean, I have so much data.
I'm a certified nutritionist. So
Okay.
one of the things that I do is I always create my own version of any fad diet that's out there.
Gotcha. Which
What-
is
what I-
brilliant.
What I found for the clients that I work with, you have to find something that works for them. Okay. And so if you start, so when I talk keto, I don't even say keto. I just tell them, if you're really serious about dropping the pounds, go 20 grams of carbs or less per day. And I don't necessarily promote high fat. I don't promote high fat. I don't believe, because as a bodybuilder, I'm trying to get as lean as I can possibly get. So I want my body to burn the existing fat that's there.
Right,
Okay.
right.
And then I supplement for additional energy. Things like bee pollen,
So
things like
do you find that because as somebody with MS, my primary complaint, and I have a lot of other complaints just generally, but with MS, the main, I know in the community, if you will, our main struggle is with fatigue, but at the same time, we can't sleep. So it's a paradox of trying to balance and different things depending on, and I never poo poo anybody's advice because it's coming from a nice place, you know? And I've heard
surely
like I've heard bee pollen for energy, and I just
work endurance,
hmm?
work endurance,
Yeah, and
working
so that
ginseng for work endurance.
so for what I do for the bike, I just like have you heard of Zip Fizz? I've been using that nutritional supplement. It's like a lot of vitamins and you put it in a big jug of water.
Okay.
And it's like B vitamins, caffeine, D vitamins. You know, you could read.
Can I ask you about something even more controversial than anything we've spoken about so far?
Yes.
Okay. So as a person that's dealing with MS, have you ever considered parasite cleansing? Have you ever considered parasite cleansing? It's my understanding.
Sorry, loose
Yeah,
space.
Well, I'm just kind
I'm
of, what does he
talking
mean by that? Go ahead.
parasite cleansing. So I've been doing this probably for close to 30 years, and it's pretty much got rid of all my arthritis. I got diagnosed with arthritis in both my knees at 25, and I've been training hardcore for probably 25 of the past 30 years. And for the first decade after I started parasite cleansing, I do it twice a year. I do it for 2 months each time. And I essentially forgot I had arthritis. I got diagnosed by the leading sports medicine doctor in Columbus, Ohio at the time. His name was Dr. Chesner. I said, how do I get rid of it? He said, you got arthritis. I didn't even know what it was. I was 25 years old. I said, how do I get rid of it? He said, you can't. And I was just defiant, about the whole thing.
Oh,
And so, make a
yeah.
long story short, it was like the universe started sending me information within a few months. And I listened to the industrial chemist who was the founder of the company that I got the products from. And he had an audio cassette at the time, believe it or not. It was called Guess What's Crawling Inside You. And it talked about like that basically parasites were the origins of the majority of the type of imbalances and diseases that we deal with.
Oh,
So
like
as a baseline, even somebody with you cut out on me, but what I wanted to share with you is that
No, go ahead.
as a
Go ahead.
baseline, what I would do, if you've been dealing with MS, especially for a while, as a baseline, what I would do is I would go on a parasite cleanse for probably about 2 months, and I can give you the formulations, and I can give you I've had to piecemeal some stuff together because that manufacturer has went out of business, but they created phenomenal products back in those days, and I've had to just take the knowledge that I have, and I've had to go on the internet and research and find out what products do the same thing that the products I used to take do, and I have a thing of it's a trio that I take. I'll just give it to you. It's Parasmart is the anti-parasitic product I take. The colon or intestinal cleanser is called Super Cleanse by Nature's Secret, and I do a colloidal mineral to replace the minerals that the parasites have eaten and stolen from you for decades, and we replace those, put them back in the body, and the manufacturer I use for I've been using most recently, it's called Piping Rock, and they're called colloidal minerals. It means they come from a plant source and they've been suspended in a solution. They get them from like the coast of Okinawa, Japan. A lot of them come from that area. They get them out in Utah. Water out there in Utah is supposed to be pretty good for their colloidal minerals. And but yeah, that 2 months. So Your Parasmart's going to be a 14-day product. You want to take it for, you're going to get 2 boxes of it. You want to take it for the first month. You want to take about 3 or 4 days off and then come back and take it for another 28 days and take the Super Cleanse with it and the colloidal minerals with them as well. And do it for 2 months and see how your MS improves over that 2-month period. It's worth a shot.
Right.
Right.
Because
yeah.
Your energy levels will go up. If you're dealing with any kind of arthritis, the majority of your arthritis will go away.
Well, thankfully, I don't have arthritis. I mean,
I do. I'm 50 years old. I do, yeah.
Arthritis, not. No, I.
Don't worry about arthritis. Don't worry about the arthritic part. See if it helps your MS. It'll run you probably about $150 2 months in a row, and it'll deal with another 300, 400, 500 different diseases and potential imbalances that you might be dealing with as well. And
so you do the Parasmart and the cleanse.
Yeah, it's $1 million of information right there. By the way, it's called Super Cleanse by Nature's Secret.
Super Cleanse. And then there's the colloidal minerals after that.
Yeah, I get piping rock right now. I get piping rock. I get the best deal on piping rock.
Well, now you do the colloidal minerals during the cleanse?
Oh yeah.
You take it. Okay.
Take them all simultaneously. Take them all simultaneously.
So does this coincide with like microbiome data? That's because when we were at the UC San Diego, we met the godfather of the microbiome gut data, and he basically was explaining how any sort of defect is basically can be, derived from the microbiome in your gut bacteria. So that's why so many people get so sick when they're on antibiotics, because you kill off the wrong bacteria that you need.
And honestly, what you probably want to do, and I didn't mention this, you probably want to take a probiotic. Because you are going to kill off some of the good bacteria in the gut as well. So the probiotic will replace that. But also, I think, if I'm not mistaken, in the Super Cleanse, there's probiotics in it. But you might want to take some additional as well. But I'll be doing it till they put me in a box. So
okay,
twice a year. Twice a year.
Twice a year, 2 months at a time.
2 months at a time. So you're going to wait probably 4 to 5 months after the first time to do it again. And then what you may end up doing, what I ended up doing was I go on a maintenance program after I go in a couple months, and I go on a maintenance program after that for the 4 or 5 months, just to kind of keep that stuff out of my system.
Gotcha.
We're talking about nobody's immune. Most of the medical community in the States want us to believe that's a third world country epidemic and issue. And I beg to differ, because I know our water is not as pure as it could be.
Right.
I know things like there's things as simple as dust mites and things like that get on our pillows, and we don't wash our pillows. It's like once every other 3 or 4 days.
I had one pillow. My mom just said it wasn't pillow, it was just dust mite. Growing up, she's like, that pillow, it hasn't been a pillow in 10 years.
That's exactly the way she sounds too. I met her mom.
Yeah.
Mom. Okay. But yeah, but if you, I was gonna say, Sheriff, you take that plunge, and you go on. We used to call it going on a purge, was the term that we used to use. Gotcha. You go on a purge, and you clean your system out accordingly. I would love some feedback on, what you're experiencing following that. And I'll be honest with you, the medical community is not going to give you a lot of positive feedback on what I'm telling you, because what happens is that you start doing the stuff that I tell you, you cut them out the game, you cut them out the picture,
right?
And they're in it to make money.
Well,
they
I've
have.
had MS since I'm 19. I was diagnosed at 19, but I could remember being 8 years old and knowing something's wrong with me, like not being able to tolerate heat,
Yep.
passing out just because the temperature around me got too hot. I can't do hot water. I can't do heat shock protein. I know that's big in the bodybuilding community, like saunas and steam. I can't do that because that sends me to the ER. Like that makes me blind. That exacerbates every lesion I have in my brain. So that's stuff that's not going to heal. Like, unfortunately, some of the therapeutics out for MS I can get behind. Some not as much. But
You said the super cleanse is the nature's secret.
Yeah, that's the manufacturer, Nature's Secret.
yeah,
Now,
Okay, sorry to interrupt you because I found that on Amazon. The Parasmart I didn't. So just
I
listening.
think
Go ahead. I'm sorry, Sherry.
sure.
I didn't mean to interrupt.
no, but I mean I've been coming on like I don't know. We're getting close to 25 years of having MS. I've been on predominantly two different therapeutics, one being a copolymer, which was quite fascinating the way it was developed because it was something to trigger a base level immune response, but to keep it attacking this, we'll say we'll just say it for lack of a better way of explaining it, just we'll call it like a piece of plastic. So the immune system to keep it somewhat dampened and I mean now shit, I forgot what it's even. The name brand is Copaxone. It's out of Israel, out of Teva Neuroscience, and they've been they do like most generic meds I think come out of Israel.
Can I ask you a real fundamental question, Sherry?
Yes.
Yeah. So is your MS? You believe it's autoimmune associated? The origins are autoimmune in its origins.
The funny thing is the debate is still out because nobody knows still to this day. They're still kind of wishy-washy back and forth. Is there a gene? Is it familial? Nobody in my family has been diagnosed, but there is other autoimmune disease. And this is
Go on a purge, Sherry.
this is not popular, but it's true. Us Jews were so inbred that there's a lot of the gene pool is very shallow. Did you see Lou's face? Sorry, other Jews, but you know it's true. When you're growing up and your parents look like they're closely related, you question everything. I question everything, and so I don't know.
Now,
My both grandmas, there's a history of cardiac disease, there's a history of blood pressure, there's a history of on both sides cardiac. It's just how much can we intervene with genetics until genetics win? Again, being looking at things in the microscope for so long, for like 20 years, you see things, you see patterns, fascinating patterns, and all the data we collect, we still can't really prove a whole lot. I mean, we saw that in the moon landing.
we gotta be careful. We're on YouTube. We might get kicked off if we go too conspiracy.
All right.
That's all right. Well, I do believe there's problems with the medical industry because they don't want you healthy. They want if you watch a game or you watch TV, you see tons of like commercials for all these pills that you have no idea what they even do. You have no idea, what how you can't even pronounce them. It's like, huh?
Well, I feel our basic understanding of pharmacology as a nation is poor, and I think maybe
Yeah.
we should teach a little better. I think our school system, and this is just me also being a child of an educator, we need to teach science. We need to teach basic science, and we need to go hard in it. We need to go basic bio. We need to get down to the nitty gritty. And you know, that should hold more weight than what it does in this country. I mean, that's why countries like China and, Japan, they hold science in very high regard in mathematics. We don't.
I was recently told by, I can't remember who told me this, but they told me that like probably at least 3/4 of all the other Western civilizations require their general population to go on a parasite cleanse every single year. I heard that. Someone told me that, and I don't know if that's true or not. But I thought, whoa! But they don't. But it's not required in the States. They don't make us do it in the States. It's kind of a general.
It's just like the sports physicals. Again, that's another thing we studied in the lab is cardiomyopathy. Unfortunately, little kids drop dead, and that's how you know they had a cardiomyopathy because their parents, they were never taught the stress of a sports physical, something that should be required since, elementary school. Why not? You hook a kid up to an ECG, you put some leads on them, let them walk on a treadmill, make sure everything looks okay, make sure the trace is fine, there are no abnormalities in their in their ECG. And if, there is, get an echo and call it a day. Keep your kids healthy.
Now, is that, if I'm not mistaken, that's a muscular dystrophy of the heart, right?
Duchenne's there is part, but let's just say anytime you watch a story, because there's different types of cardiomyopathies, you got I haven't brushed up because I've been drinking this beer and making me stupider by the minute.
That's your cold.
It's so cold and wonderful, but
I'm just drinking water. I'm just having some
water. I scurried to get here and get on here as fast as I could.
It's fine. It's fine. That's why I said I understood. You told me you were gonna try to get on. I said, well, we can wait. I mean, we can go on and stall for you. It's all right.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's dilated cardiomyopathy. There's hypertrophic cardiomyopathy. Again, genetics, things that people are born with and they don't know they have it, unfortunately, until they die.
So this is what I want to talk about real quick, Sherry. Are you familiar with the cardiomyopathy that's caused by selenium deficiency? That's the one I've been. That's the one that's was shared with me probably 28, 30 years ago. Is that like a lot of selenium, which is a mineral that's critical for the functioning of the heart. And as athletes, we generally, at least competitive athletes, we go pretty hard. And when we sweat out critical minerals that are necessary for different functions in our body. And the one that I've been taught causes the cardiomyopathy of the heart is the selenium deficiency. But if you get them in your body in a colloidal form, that's a condition that you should not have to deal with.
Yeah, because the teams that I've worked on, we were, and in cardiology, you're either an electrician or you're a plumber. We were electricians. So we studied the electrical function of the heart.
So the article that I'm quoting right now is called "Exercise Without Supplementation is Suicide." It's by a gentleman named Joel Wallach. Joel A. Wallach, Dr. Joel A. Wallach. He had his PhD in medicine. He also had his PhD in veterinary medicine.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I believe he's still alive, but he's a big proponent of the colloidal minerals. That's where the colloidal minerals come from, because he was promoting the colloidal mineral concept through this particular article.
I'll give you my PubMed clout later on.
PubMed clout.
My PubMed. I got a lot of PubMed clout, and so does the professor I live with, and his PhD is in cardiac pharmacology and electrophysiology, so he knows the insides outs of all the ion channels. And
excellent. Ask him about selenium. The selenium,
he knows this
in the heart.
We talk about oops, I accidentally made a colonic day. He put too much salt, too much Himalayan salt in this water. And that was a fun day. And I'm like, good thing you don't have to go anywhere. Yay, academics. So you get to make your own schedule, nerds. And I mean, lab rats, we work, 14 hours for scraps. And which is another thing I have a gripe about, but I will not gripe because I'm on good behavior tonight because Lou told me to be on good behavior.
You told you to be on good behavior. Good for Lou.
you.
Because it sounds like you can go all the way out there if you want to.
Oh, you have no idea.
Oh yeah,
I got it. I got it.
Well, just while you were talking, I got the order for Parasmart,
Okay.
the colloidal minerals and super cleanse, and I'll tell you because I have arthritis in my knees and my hands and my elbows, so I'm going to see what this helps with my arthriris.
Yeah,
Because I was telling you about that a long time ago. Yeah. So yeah, it was about $150 for the Parasmart.
I quoted you pretty good.
Yeah,
Price what?
it's a little-
Usually, if you check for best deals, sometimes you can get them. Yeah, that's about what it's going to be. 150.
I was able to get.
I mean, you can
I
get
was
all.
able. Yeah, I was able to get the colloidal minerals and the super cleanse on Amazon. The other one I had to go to.
Lou, do you see Steve in the comments? He wants recommendations later. He would like the links posted if you could.
Okay. See what I can do.
You can do it. I know you can do it.
You can do it. You can do it. Like, he wants the links posted.
Just do Arnold all night.
Yeah. Put the cookie down.
That's my favorite.
I'm going to the Schwarzenegger Classic next weekend.
Oh, are you?
Oh,
we were just talking about that next year.
Yeah. That's where I met Ferrigno in Colombo. Franco Colombo was really nice.
I want to go next year, and I got these binoculars.
Yeah, those guys are pretty nice, man. Most of them are not. Usually the bigger and stronger that they are, generally the nicer, calmer they really are.
I think I caught Cutler on a bad day when I met him. Jay Cutler. Okay. I was like, I don't know what it was. I was like, dude, okay. I was like, he was just like, he kind of was like blowing me off. And I'm like, all right, man. Okay.
Okay. All right.
I was like, okay. I don't, maybe thought I was somebody else.
Maybe.
Oh, somebody from another life that.
I don't know. I don't know.
Who knows, man.
But most of the time, they're pretty cool guys. And also said this too, because where I trained at was Titans and Menor.
Okay.
When I was competing, and like you see, like the big trend with the women in the gyms, they set up the tripod and they're doing their squats right with their butt facing the camera, and not you, Sherry, but you know what I'm talking about. They're the Instagram models. They're trying to get attention. It wasn't the women competitors at Titans were all business. They were not like that at all. Yeah, they were really cool. Yeah, they were some of the best friends I had in bodybuilding were the female competitors. It was just, I don't know. I guess.
How'd you like the gym overall? I've never been there, but I got an invite to go out there.
Yeah, I liked it. There's a lot of equipment, I like their hack squat machine because you find a good hack squat machine. That's awesome for the quads.
I've done hack squats before.
Yeah. Oh, I was going to ask you that. Have you, the other guys you met, have you ever met two guys that I always wanted to meet? Was Frank Zane? Have you ever met Frank Zane?
I mean, I may have met Frank and not even known. I've been to probably about half a dozen to a dozen of the Schwarzenegger Classics, and I meet a lot of people, and sometimes I remember their names, and sometimes I don't remember. And I think I met Ronnie Coleman for the first time about 3 years ago.
Yeah, isn't he like in bad health right now?
Yeah, he's not doing quite so well. I think at that time he was doing quite. He was sitting down though the whole time. So
yeah.
He's
having trouble. Like he pushed his body to the point it just broke down on him, I think. Yeah. The other one was Tom Platz. You know what I'm talking about? Must be because I hear.
Yeah. I've seen a few of his YouTube videos as of late. And it's just motivational stuff. Honestly, though, Lou, I've never really been much of a bodybuilding guy. I've always been a football guy, and a basketball guy, and a track and field. And I did the bodybuilding thing kind of on a dare, kind of on a dare. And
Yeah.
I said I would do it, and I wanted to back out. And I like to believe that your word is supposed to be your bond, and it's supposed to be golden. And so I followed through on it, and I did well. And then I just kind of continued, never really following the industry that much, just kind of being focused on me and doing what I got to do. There's so much work involved, that I never really concerned myself a whole lot with going pro either, because I got some different challenges and limitations associated with, my body and my physique, just injuries over the years that don't allow me to probably do the best showing, even though I got great genetics and I work my tail off. I got torn. I've won competitions with a torn bicep, man. You know what I'm saying? That's how well I work on everything else.
Yeah. I finished third in my last competition, and I had an umbilical hernia, and I had to
Oh my
I
God.
competed with the hernia. Yeah, I just kept popping it back in. Yeah.
But it made you want to back out though at some stage of the game, didn't it?
Oh yeah. There's times I'm thinking like, what the hell am I doing? Why am I doing this? I must be crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, not gonna vomit.
Not gonna vomit.
Not gonna vomit. That was on the bike too. I was on the bike and I'm like drinking my water. I'm like, okay, must find my flow state. Must close my eyes. Come on, Freddie.
With bodybuilding is almost like with anything, because once you're out of that comfort zone and you have to push yourself, that's where the growth comes in. And it could be anything. You could be learning something new, be trying something new, and it's just like it might be a challenge to you. And that's the way I approach it. Like, okay, this is how you have to go about it. Back to the football thing. I was just letting you know, Jack Duffin, who's a colleague. I reached out to him today because when I heard the news about the cap, I said, okay, what does this mean? And he explained it to me. He said, I had the Browns projected to spend approximately $291 million on their 53 man roster in 2024. Okay. But with the new salary cap figure, it's now 307 million. So he has, that's what he's saying. Even though the cap is this, they spend it, but what they're able to do is pay it out in bonuses and have it spread out over the years of the contract to lower the cap hit. And as long as you have an owner like Jimmy Haslam willing to pay that cash out to the players, because the players are going to get their money regardless. They're getting their money. So you can restructure it and put it into a bonus and have it spread out over the years. That's how they do it. That's how they beat the cap. So the cap so the owners that have that liquidity, the cash to do it, like Haslam. That's how he like when Deshaun Watson signed his contract a couple years ago, $230 million had to be put into an escrow account for him. He had to put that in there, and Haslam was able to do it. So that is what I'm seeing. So he's saying that because right now, on average, they're spending $50 million over the average of the NFL team. They're spending over 50, and that's Deshaun Watson's contract plus the rest of the roster. So it's sustainable as long as two things happen: the owner keeps spending the money, and we don't have another COVID. That's really what it is.
That's right. Now, well, what is? I mean, a team like the Browns with a phenomenal fan base that it has, what kind of revenue does it generate annually? Say
I wouldn't even know.
A lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, my guess is it probably does a bit upwards of $1 billion worth of revenue, worldwide, between television and between jerseys being sold, cups, mugs, flags, T-shirts, jerseys,
everything.
And then we have all the branch off companies that do all like the local stuff, like GB and Homage, and I'm sure there are other ones out there, but those are the two big that stand out in my mind. Besides like Fanatics, but then it's like a crapshoot with them,
And the only reason why I asked that question, Lou, is because if the owner wasn't making money, he wouldn't put it out there.
Right.
Of course, he's a businessman.
He's a businessman at the end of the day. That's how he got the team, because he was a good businessman.
Right.
He obviously saw a window where he could come in and create a championship caliber team for the fan base, and I commend him for that. I commend him for that for giving it a run every year. I know, because we know what this is what we know about as true Brown fans who know football. This is what we know. Whoever was in ownership before wasn't trying to win a championship. They were not trying to win a Super Bowl. They were not trying to bring in the caliber of players that need to be brought in to even compete. And I thought that was a shame for a long time, even though I've been a fan since I've been 8 years old.
Yeah.
I could see that, after about those teams in the late 80s, man, Brian Sipe and Ozzie Newsome and
Bernie Kosar.
Yeah, Biner Mack and
that's my goal for this year is trying to meet Bernie Kosar.
Oh, Bernie.
We just missing each other.
Yeah. Okay.
If you go before the games, if you go down to West 6th Street where the food trucks are sitting, he's usually there. I've seen him there a couple times.
I've seen that big billboard at West 4th or West 3rd and Summit.
Yeah. You ever go tailgating, Eric? Or go to the games?
I have not yet. However,
I can protect you if you want to go. I will protect you from those animals.
I got pretty good hands, so
I don't, but I can talk my way out of anything.
You talk you out of anything? I won't be drinking, but I'll enjoy the food, though. I'll eat a few dogs and brats and.
Oh yeah, there was one of the food trucks. They had really good fish tacos when I was there. Yeah, it was the
like that kind of thing.
It was right across from the booth from 92.3 The Fan. Yeah. But a lot of times it's so expensive. The stadium food's not that good, but inside the stadium itself. But if you go outside of it, there's food trucks and other people set up some pretty good things for a tailgating. I must have dropped
once a year, you got to get the nachos with the cheese that never solidifies, which is fun. And wait, cheese.
We're just talking about cleansing, and then we're going to eat that. Yeah.
No,
that's a cheat meal, right?
Hey, that's what's keeping me alive in the fall.
What's that, Eric?
That's why it's so necessary because of the diets that we've endured, over the past 3, 4, 5 decades, depending upon how old you are, and just don't be alarmed by anything that comes out of your body. I'll just say that much.
I am not going to talk about that tonight because
do not be alarmed, but it's just evidence of what you're doing is necessary. It's always better out than in.
We're very open with our diarrhea.
Oh, God, Jerry. Yeah, it was okay. How can I explain this?
Yes.
She was late last week, and I had John Suchin on from the Fanatical Elves, is who I'm going to be working for starting on March 4th. So I said, she texted me. She said having GI issues. And we're on the show, and I'm like, John, what does she mean by GI? He goes, gastrointestinal. I'm like, I just told everybody she had diarrhea. Did not mean to do that,
dude. You think my mom hasn't done that in the middle of TJ Maxx while holding up a bra, being like, "Is that inside?" Come on, I had to endure quite the woman who you've kind of pseudo met. Let me tell you about the mafia.
Yeah, yes, that was funny when she was talking about the mafia to me. But like the thing, people can say whatever they want about the Haslams and the owners.
Mm-hmm.
He's trying to win. You're right. I agree.
Man, that's what I see. I'm just saying from an outsider looking in who has been a fan for at least 4.5 decades.
Mm-hmm.
The man is rolling the dice. He's doing the best he knows to create a winner. And I think that the fan base should be excited about that because we're going to be in the hunt year in and year out. Regardless of who. That's it. That's what you can ask for because it's a matter of guys staying healthy, you know, I mean, God bless Stefanski, but hopefully he gets a little better calling plays.
I
You
keep
know,
hearing that a lot. I've heard that's like the second podcast I've been on that people complaining about his play calling.
Bruh, I'm
There
a
was
player,
another.
man. I'm a
Well,
player, man. I can tell you, man. He sometimes he comes
he
out,
gets
man.
cute. He'll get cute sometimes. If you know what I mean? Like he'll want to do a trick play, and then it's
Cutesy?
just
Yeah, like a hot potato and then like a backsy frontsy. Yeah, no,
But
yeah,
it's
and
usually
that's the only time
but
I.
it's usually at the wrong time. That's the whole thing. His timing is bad. That's
Yeah,
there's nothing wrong with the plays sometimes. It's just his timing is bad. And then sometimes he runs plays, man, that are just completely ludicrous. I seen him running Juku on an end around one time, and I was like, bruh,
why?
I know you love Juku. I know you want to get him the ball, but you don't run your tight end on the end around. You just don't. They're not fast enough in the NFL. You know,
Okay. So
unless
this
it's maybe like a shovel pass of some sort up through the middle, maybe.
hmm
But they're not fast enough to run end around. You know what I mean? I seen him do it a couple times, and I was like, I about pulled my hair out, man. I was like, this dude is losing his mind. You know, I thought maybe that's what you call getting cute, but that's
That's kind of
that's
what I meant. Like
cutesy.
he
Little
gets to the trick
cutesy.
plays, little cutesy sometimes, and then next thing you know, we're driving, we got some momentum, we're moving, and all of a sudden he'll do something like that, and we're behind the
Because
sticks.
once it's on tape, it's no longer a surprise. I mean,
Well, yeah, that's true.
that there's enough tape of him being the head coach to people be like, oh, you know what? He's gonna do cutesy. Look at his face. He has a glimmer
Yeah,
in his eye, and his beard is glistening.
yeah,
That's what's
But
gonna happen.
I think people say sometimes they think he outthinks himself. Like
Oh yeah,
sometimes
yeah,
he
easily,
thinks.
easily. Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Um,
I mean,
So can we keep Harrison Bryant?
I think we will. Why? I don't know. I don't know anything. Well, I don't know what they're
You know where
really.
he's from?
Yeah, yeah. You've said this many times. He's
Thank you.
from. He's from the. What was the name of that college in Florida that you know him from?
Florida Atlantic University, and we just got like a super
FAU.
dunk or whatever it was that I posted last night. We got like dunk of the year and college basketball, which is quite a thing apparently. So I
Yeah.
was happy about that.
Well,
Number one,
yeah. I was gonna
Devin
say this.
Singletary.
I will give Stefanski credit. He's grown a lot in his role since when he first became a head coach, and I think he's going to grow some more. He might even get to the point of letting other people call plays or do other things. I haven't heard that yet. I haven't heard him.
but he obviously is doing something well enough that they want to keep him around. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
I think he's a good player personnel director. I think
him
that
and Andrew Barry. Yeah, him and Andrew Barry.
I
They're
think he
doing
does
very
well
well.
with the players. And Andrew Barry's getting better, by
Yeah,
the way.
and the other thing too is like with the
Ivy
owner.
League, you got to get Ivy League guys to steer the ship.
With the owner too, it's like he also not only figured out how to hire people, but he had to figure out how to fire people. Because sometimes when you got to say, okay, I mean, I made this guy's a mistake. We got to get rid of him. This guy's and he went through that for maybe about 6-7 years after he became the owner, and then when he finally got it right, he listened to the right people and he brought in Stefanski and Barry, and it's like we have stability now. We have what we've been
Right.
asking for. It's like, what else do you want? I mean, we're going to be in the picture. Plus,
Oh,
I heard this too about the stadium. He's willing to invest money in the community to build a stadium, like at least
This
go
is
half on it.
delicious. This whole.
You talking about the dome? Are you talking about the dome? The conversation we had about the dome?
Yeah,
That
because
would be exciting. That would be
yeah,
exciting.
well, he's excited. Everybody's excited about having a dome. And at one there was Jarrell, who's on Fanatical Elves Network, saying, "Hey, only if you go back to the last 20 years, only 3 dome teams have won a Super Bowl. Actually, 4 if you count the Rams twice. So, and if you go all the way back to the very beginning of the Super Bowls, and I don't even know when Dallas started playing at Texas Stadium. Would you count that old Texas Stadium as a dome? Because
The
Dallas,
original one?
yeah, the original one, it had a hole in the roof, but it was
I
it
don't.
was close.
You can't.
I
That's
feel
not
like they
dome.
all do, though.
What's that?
They all
That's not
do.
a dome thing. If it's
That
got a
wasn't a
hole.
dome. So, but if you want to count that, that would be 9. That would be 9
Yeah.
dome. That would be 9 total. But there wasn't that many teams playing in domes. So they're saying only
Mhm.
so many dome teams have won Super Bowls. My thing is, look, if you're good enough, you win it. That's
If you're
just,
good enough, you win. That's it. If you're good enough, if you're good enough, and you stay healthy enough,
yeah,
it's out there waiting on you. You know what I mean?
yeah,
You pay the
absolutely.
price. So that brings up another topic. So the injury totals that we went through this past season.
Yes, sir.
What you know, being a personal trainer, working with people every day
Hmm.
and working on my body and going through my college days and my semi-pro days, and I know this is what I know. The better prepared you are coming into a season, the less likely you are to get injured. That's what I know. I know that from experience. I've never had any major injuries on the football. Well, I'll take that back. I broke my ankle my senior year, but that was kind of a freak accident. But as far as like, you know, uh, joint issues, blowing knees out, stuff like that, your legs got to be crazy strong. When I say crazy strong, I'm talking about you need to be trying to max out your potential on your leg work in the off season every year, along with your speed. You know what I mean? You need to be, and it's a kind of a strange combination, but your legs got to be strong. You can't come in monkeying around with that because, it just takes all that, the physics, you'll blow a knee out because your legs aren't strong enough, because the muscles can't support the collisions, my legs were so strong when I was in college, man, I used to run over 300 pounders.
Wow.
At 200 pounds, I used to run over 300 pounders because I could leg press 2,000 pounds.
Wow.
Because I was a 600-pound squatter. You know what I mean? I had no fear, and my neck was super strong, so I rarely got concussions. But that still happens. Like with the kickoff team, I had 2 concussions total on kickoff teams. Coming down there like a bat out of God knows what, and slamming into a wedge. That just, the physics don't line up, man. The physics don't line up. You know what I'm saying? Right. You're bound and determined to get a concussion. So I used to shy away from.
That's why he needs to talk to Matt, because Matt's his first degree is in physics. And he's a cardiac electrophysiologist.
But the point I was trying to make, though, is that I don't know what the strength and conditioning coaches are doing or not doing, but they need to be pushing the guys to do their strength training preseason, off season, preseason, and a couple times a week during the season to maintain, their health during the course of the season. Because
do that with the age range of these young men who are drafted to play and handed these giant bags of money?
It's tough. It's tough. You have to create a standard. You have to create a standard. Like this is our culture. Like this is how we get down. This is what's required to win the championship. This is what's required for you to stay healthy the whole season. Some squats or leg press a couple times a week. Not going to be a tremendous amount, but you got to at least maintain that strength that you gained in the off season. Yeah. During the season, you know what I mean? Because it's
Did they make any changes to their strength and conditioning coaches or programs this year?
Good question.
Yeah, that is. I would have to look that up. I also do know this too, based on what you're saying. A lot of NFL teams dealt with injuries. We weren't the only ones. I don't know if it was as severe as us. So I think with Watson, he has to change his style because he can't be diving, taking hits like he was. And
true enough.
There's got to be slide and get out of bounds.
I was concerned. This is kind of what you call a conspiracy theory a little bit. I was a little bit concerned that his shoulder was messed up when he got here, man.
We don't know it wasn't.
Yeah, his throwing arm was so bad for his first probably 8 starts that I was like, what's wrong with him? I watched him all through college, man. He was a beast. I wanted Cleveland to draft him straight out of college because he could do it all. He could make every throw. He had very nice speed, and he knocked off Alabama. He knocked off Ohio State when he was in college. He had all of Clemson's passing records.
Okay, Clemson.
So he's not somebody. He's not some dark horse they just picked up. Like, he's got a track record of killing giants. You know what I mean? So
Right.
he comes from a winning background. So that's part of his pedigree is to be a winner. So they got a good guy at quarterback as far as getting. But I was concerned about his arm because his throws were so bad. They were saying, oh, there's a layoff, this and that, blah blah blah. Let me tell you something. When you're a quarterback, man, what you do is throw the ball. Okay, and at that young, and you can't make a basic throw. You can't make a basic out pass. You can't make a basic out route. You can't hit a basic, throw the middle. He was missing basic throws, like throwing them straight in the dirt. I was like, something's wrong. I kept thinking something was wrong with his arm. And then they come up with the injury after he took a couple hits and he ends up having to take the surgery and put him out for the rest of the season. I was like, his arm might have been messed up when he got here. I'm
Yeah, I mean,
saying what he showed us when he got started, man, is nothing close to who Deshaun Watson is. There's a
yeah,
lot. There's a lot to be seen. Trust me. When he's on, he's
Mhm.
as good as anybody in the league.
right. I saw that in the second half against Baltimore when he had the
Mhm.
shoulder bothering him, and I was at the Tennessee game. I was at the Arizona game. I know in Indianapolis, he shouldn't have been out there. He threw 5 passes. They did the concussion protocol, and they said he cleared protocol, but the coach was like, just stay out because you shouldn't, you're gonna hurt the team. And we won the game with PJ Walker the rest of the way. And I agree with you. There could have been rust. It could have been something he had to work through. It could have been a lot of things. Probably a combination of rust and something wrong with his shoulder.
Well,
The
right, like a
thing,
micro tear. How would we know that he didn't have a micro
Yeah,
tears?
he might have had something already. That was my guess, unless he was just under that much stress.
That
You know what
that
I'm
could
saying?
be too because of all the litigation and all that nonsense that was
there's
coming
still
out of
one
Texas.
case. Yeah, there's still one
Yeah.
case pending. That was another bullshit story. Was that he could face another suspension? And
Well, that's stupid. Yeah, that's
no,
stupid. It's all
no,
civil nonsense, and he was cleared of any criminal charges, which is not.
yeah, yeah. Well, with civil and criminal, that's two different standards of proof
Oh
at
yeah,
that point.
and
So, right.
it's bullshit.
Oh, complete, total bullshit. And let me see here because I'm going to see what the Cavs score is before we wrap it up. But I agree with a lot with what you're saying. Oh, the Cavs, 14 seconds left. They're losing 104 to 97 in Philadelphia. So they're going to lose two in a row. Did
Right.
Donovan Mitchell even play tonight? I was
He
paying
was out
attention.
yesterday.
He was out yesterday. I heard
He
he was
said
going to
with
play
an
tonight.
illness.
Is it
How did he
illness?
do in the All-Star game? Do you know? Did he
He
play
did pretty
much? Did
good.
he,
He played
he
a
do
little bit.
decent?
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. Cavaliers starters. Donovan Mitchell was out with an illness. So that's 2 games without Mitchell, and
Okay.
that's 2 losses. Yep. So he was
Okay.
still sick. I think G. Bush on the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show was saying he was going to play. He tweeted it. I was like,
He
okay.
is my neighbor, FYI.
G. Bush,
Yeah,
tell him I
I
said hello.
walk by his house every day when I
I
You want
got
walk
to talk
another.
in.
to him?
I got another quick question before we wrap up. You
Sure.
got any word? You got any word on how Chubb's rehab is coming along?
He was actually walking beforehand. It's positive. He's on schedule. That's what I heard.
Okay.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you,
Okay.
Steve.
He's on schedule from what I heard, and it's been positive. The other one, the same thing with Watson. He's going to start throwing in 3 weeks. So
Okay.
it's looking good. I really just knocking on wood, man. If like I said, health is going to be the biggest thing with this team. The reason why Baltimore won the division, they won it by 2. They won it with 13 wins. They had their quarterback all year. So as simple as that. But it's all that good. All right. So I posted for Steve in the comments, and it went to the comments everywhere for all what I got because he has arthritis too. So good luck to you, Steve, and
Hmm.
everybody. Yeah, we appreciate everybody joining us with the Browns talk and the bodybuilding and talk and everything else, and appreciate everybody that tunes in and the comments that they leave. Thank you all. And coming March 4th, I will be on the Fanatical Elves Network doing a daily Burning River Browns talk, 10-minute update show. And I'm going to be doing articles for Fans First as well. So I appreciate all that. Guys, is there anything you want to ask or say before I wrap this up? No? Okay.
Yeah.
Eric,
Yeah.
thanks for
Yeah.
joining us, man. I appreciate it.
You're welcome, man.
Nice meeting you in this
Yes.
rectangle
There's a-
format.
Pleasure meeting you as well.
Oh,
Hopefully
it's
I
a
can
pleasure.
join you again.
He's a good dude. Yeah, he's very, very impressive. I've seen him train. So it's good. All right, here we go. Here we go. We're gonna play this music out.